Jai Shri Ram. The message in this recording, which I would like to give you, is that in this Kali Yuga, we should not be wasting our time in doing all these havans and, you know, where a lot of resources are utilized. Time is also utilized. The best yajna is jnana yajna, which is what Krishna already mentioned in 1868. From 1868 to 1871, Krishna clearly declares that those who teach this Bhagavad Gita, they are very dear to me. In fact, none is more dear to me than one who teaches the Bhagavad Gita. Then one who studies the Bhagavad Gita and one who listens to the Bhagavad Gita, and all this is called Jnana Yajna, which is the best and the highest kind of Yajna. Krishna has clearly said this. But still, I find people wasting all their time doing all these Vedic Yajnas. And remember, in Kali Yuga, you are not guaranteed 100 years. If you manage to live beyond 60, that is a bonus. Because beyond 60, your body will be riddled with all kinds of health issues. You will have hardly any time to do some serious work. So, in this situation, Krishna has been so very generous, so magnanimous. And he repeatedly said it, but still people are doing it. That is why Hindu society is backward. I am very clear on this. Now, please listen very carefully. Second chapter, 46th I am reading. यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदिके तावान सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः. So here Krishna is giving a very very interesting analogy. If there is someone who has acquired Brahmajnanam, which means Brahmajnanam can be acquired even without the study of Vedas. That's what Krishna is saying. And how? Well, if you give it a serious thought, Brahmajnanam or Krishna Tattva or understanding, because Gita is the essence of the entire Vedas, is not something that you have to seek outside of yourself. Because the Vedas clearly declares that all Jivatmas are Sachidananda Vigraha. So, this knowledge is already within us. Our job is to just rediscover it. So you're not trying to get anything new. If that is true, that we are all Sachidananda Vigraha, unfortunately we have become Nirananda Vigraha because we are obsessed with material comforts. And we are running after Artha Kama. And we have forgotten Dharma. And Moksha is completely out of the question. Nobody is seriously thinking about that. So now, I hope you understand this very subtle, nuanced issue. Krishna is saying, Yavanartha udapane sarvata samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. So if you look at different commentators, all of them have different ways of explaining this. I find that they are all fighting shy of stating the obvious. Remember, to fight shy. To fight shy is a phrase which means to fight shy of something means to be unwilling to undertake. Be unwilling to undertake or become involved with something. To fight shy of controversy. Disrelish, flinch from, recoil from, demur from. Be averse to, be against or disrelish and flinch from. Be unwilling. So I notice that most commentators are fighting shy of stating the obvious. Krishna is actually saying, don't waste your time. Just study Gita, preach the Gita, listen to the Gita, live the Gita. What is the use of simply listening and if you are not putting it into practice? And Krishna is actually suggesting that don't waste your time doing any other yajnas. If you are so keen, because see, yajnas and Agnihotra purifies the atmosphere. Not just the physical atmosphere, the oral, the aura of the place gets changed. Spirituality is infused into the atmosphere. So maybe once in a month or maybe a small Agnihotra with all the paraphernalia, the upla, the cow dung patties, pidakalu, all the other stuff will be there. maybe once in a day or once in a week, a small activity can be straight away done, and these things can be put into that. It should be not more than 5 minutes. That's it. Let the atmosphere get purified. But why do we have to waste hours together, people sitting down and pouring ghee into the yajna, constructing a big Vedi and all that? I personally am totally opposed to it, and I draw my inspiration straight away from Sri Krishna himself, from the Bhagavad Gita. Some people who support all these yajnik activity may be offended by what I am saying. But if you listen to me very carefully, you will understand why I am saying whatever I am saying. यावान अर्थ उदपाने सर्वदा संप्रतोदके तावान सर्वेषु वेदेषु brahmanasya vijanatah. Krishna is saying, if there is a person who is a brahmajnani, now how can he acquire that? Elsewhere in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Shreyan dravyamayadhyajna jnana yajna parantapa sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. So better than dravya yajnas. Now the word dravya yajna has many meanings. It means yajna in which you are offering ghee and all other dravyas into the Agni, or it can also mean the pursuit of wealth, acquiring wealth, because without wealth you cannot do any dharmic activity. But Krishna is saying, Shreyan dravyamayad yajna jnana yajna parantapa. Jnana yajna is superior. Sarvam karma akhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. That means all karmic activities eventually lead a person to jnana. That means everyone will be saved. Today there could be a person who is committing really heinous crimes, like killing a cow, for example. Eventually, after many births, 84 lakh yonis, he will arrive at the same place from where he left off. That is jnana. So that is guaranteed. Everyone will be saved. That much is guaranteed. We can speed it up by waking up to the realities. So again, this shloka 246, if such a person, for example, Ramana Maharshi is there, there can be innumerable Swamijis and sadhus in the country who may be illiterate, never gone to school, never read Bhagavad Gita, doesn't know Sanskrit, doesn't know Telugu. But he has been a Hindu, and for several earlier janmas, he may have studied. And he epitomizes the teaching of the Gita. And now this person does not have to bother studying about the Vedas. So Krishna's analogy is very interesting, isn't it? If there is a huge pond, let us imagine, if there is a huge pond, or you are surrounded on all sides by a huge lake full of fresh water, what is the use of a well there? Or would you feel it is necessary to dig a well beside this freshwater pond? Baikal Lake, I think. Baikal Lake, somewhere in Russia, is the biggest freshwater pond in the world. So just imagine, Baikal. Baikal Lake is in Russia, somewhere in Siberia, southern Siberia. So it is the biggest, largest freshwater lake by volume. Suppose you are living there. So much fresh water is there. Would you feel like digging a well for yourself so that you have some more fresh water? That would not be necessary. So, if you can acquire Brahma Jnanam by following Bhagavad Gita, and Jnanam is not something that is coming from outside, it's already within you. Only thing is, all these layers, these delusions are there. And that mire of delusion, moha kalilam. So if you can tear through, all the koshas are there, annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya, vijnanamaya, anandamaya. If you can go beyond all these koshas, then you will identify yourself with Brahma Jnanam. Because we are actually epitomes of jnana, Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. Sat is truth, Chit is consciousness or intelligence, Ananda is bliss. So all knowledge is already within us. You just have to rediscover it, that's all. So now that is what Krishna is saying. Where is the need to? The Vedas is now being actually compared to a well. And the big Baikal lake is Brahmajnanam, which you have already acquired. Now where is the need for the well now? So the Vedas is being compared to the well. So therefore there are some people who criticize Krishna, that he is actually demeaning the Vedas by saying whatever he said. So there are some people who are angry with Krishna for this. Swami Mukundananda in his commentary. You can find it even on the internet. Swami Vivekananda, Mukundananda, he mentions that there is in Bhagavatam, 11th chapter, 11th skanda, 11th chapter, 32nd slokam. This one, Ajñayaivam gunan doshan mayadishtanapi swakan dharman santyajya yah sarvan mam bhajate satu sattamaha. Srimad Bhagavatam 11:11:32. Now what is Krishna? Swami Mukundananda is mentioning, and there are some scholars also who have mentioned this. You know what Krishna is saying? This is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 11.11.32 to 39. One who is attached, one whose mind is completely anchored to Krishna, he automatically fulfills the purpose of all the Vedic mantras. And Krishna is advising Uddhava. The translation of this verse, which I just read now, I will read again later. The Vedas prescribe, Krishna is saying this, the Vedas prescribe varieties of social and ritualistic duties for individuals. But those who grasp their underlying motive and reject all intermediate instructions, wholeheartedly fulfill their duty toward me, I consider them to be the highest devotees. What more do you want? Ajñayaivam gunan doshan mayadishtanapi swakan dharman santyajya yah sarvan mam bhajet satu sattamaha. Right? So, he perfectly understands that the ordinary religious duties prescribed by me, this is, I think, Swami Prabhupada is translating the same thing. Bhagavatam 11.11.32. He perfectly understands that the ordinary religious duties prescribed by me in various Vedic scriptures possess favorable qualities that purify the performer. And he knows that the neglect of such duties constitutes a discrepancy in one's life. But having taken complete prapanna, shelter, saranagati at my feet, however, such a sattvic person ultimately renounces such ordinary religious duties and worships me alone. He is thus considered to be the best among all living entities. What more confirmation do you want? So, Swami Mukundananda in his commentary, he also says something like this. See, just as a medicine pill is often sugar coated to make it more palatable, similarly to attract materially minded people, Vedas also give material allurements. There are lots of yajnas are there. If you do this, you will get that, you will get money, you will get a good wife, you will get prosperity. So many things are there. The underlying motive is to help the Jivatma gradually get detached from the world and attached to Krishna. Therefore, one who is already directly attaching the mind to Krishna's feet is automatically fulfilling all the purpose of the Vedic mantras. So if you are automatically Krishna Bhakta, then that means you are partaking of the Jnana Kanda. That means without passing through the LKG primary and all that, you have directly arrived at the PhD level. This is my interpretation. All because of the efforts that you have been making over so many earlier incarnations in your own life. So, final conclusion, I want to finish this discussion. Please understand, don't waste your time in Agnihotras, Vedic Yajnas. All that time can be better utilized by delivering talks on Bhagavad Gita. In fact, even Srimad Bhagavatam is not necessary. Stories from the Srimad Bhagavatam can always be used to amplify the message of the Bhagavad Gita. That's what I do. So, we have to teach Hindus, all Hindus, Bhagavad Gita, the deeper message, so that they become karma yogis and do their job. Sve sve karmanya bhirataha samsiddhim labhate naraha. So people just have to understand Krishna Tattva, Bhagavad Gita and keep working ceaselessly. That is the best yajna. And how to deal with other problems in life, vicissitudes, vagaries, shocks, losses, pain, all these things, Krishna is also saying the same thing. See, all this is temporary. So develop matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha agama payino nityam tam stitikshasva bharata. So these are ideas which I have already discussed. So my contention, my final contention, my final claim is this: let us not waste any resources. Lot of money is involved, ghee, so many things are involved. You got to get lot of brahmins, they have to be paid, and lot of time you're sitting there and pouring ghee. Instead of that, Jnana Yajnam, 1868 to 1871. Read that, then you will understand why I'm talking like this. So we should start teaching Bhagavad Gita everywhere, even to a child and to old people, and avoid indulging in all these Vedic yajnas, because higher than the Vedic yajna is the Jnana yajna, which is teaching Bhagavad Gita. Then people will work harder, the society will improve in every area, and we will become the Vishwa Guru, and we will be able to serve mankind. Jai Shri Ram.